Hey, agents, how's it going out there? Having fun? Liking this market?
Are you still an agent?
Great.
I shouldn't laugh. Oh, it's a rough one out there.
It is
So
rough.
rough. It's a lot. It makes you think. I mean, I'm not saying that my entire career that things have been, rainbows and butterflies, but this is a whole nother situation that
It's
we have
tough.
no control over. We have no control over this.
And even so in the busy market and when there were so many agents, it was a challenge getting clients because they had so many choices and they had people, knocking on their doors and uh, hounding them and offering all sorts of things and practically working for free. Some people were working for free. Um, and that was the big challenge. Now the big challenge is actually getting our clients to and through a transaction,
Right.
um, on both sides. I've had buyers that we've written tons of offers for, um, and not been able to win. I've had sellers who are struggling because um, buyers, even in a market where they have no choices. They feel like they're paying top dollar for everything, and so they're really scrutinizing and being really picky. Um,
Yes.
Not my buyers, the buyers that come to our sellers. So um, it's just been tough all around on all sides. I was talking to a recruiter yesterday, and he said that the agents he's speaking to are down um, about 40% of kind of across the board. So if you are feeling that, know you're not alone. No, this is certainly a time when people should reflect and say, do I, am I up for this? Because it's going to be tough. But for those who don't know how to do anything else like me, we're in it. So we got to figure it out. So one of the things that we're running into is people talking about interest rates. They went up so quickly. Let's face it, nobody wanted to end the party. Nobody wanted to turn the lights out. And this should have been done years ago. There's no reason why interest rates were where they were. That helped drive up prices beyond probably where a normal market would have brought them. Um, the manipulation of the market can stop bad things from happening, but it also always has unintended consequences. So they're trying to correct, and usually in my experience they try to correct too late and too much, and then everything kind of goes the other way. We are still in a housing shortage though, so there's not really room for prices to move.
And I think some of that contributes to what we were talking about in our live for the public, which is, when rates were 3%, people, we were talking about how in the past people had to kind of decide they wanted to be homeowners, decide they wanted to buckle down. This was their goal. They were meeting it. If it meant they didn't have a vacation that year because of needing a down payment or something, that's what would happen. I think some of this 3%, and I think we're seeing the repercussions of it, quite honestly, with the general like debt and things like that. Other people wanted to get this house and keep rolling. They
Yep.
wanted new everything. They wanted their vacations. They wanted their Uber Eats. They wanted this. They wanted that, and they just kept trucking in life. But now they had a house to buy too, and I think that to an extent, we're cajoling our people, trying to get them to say like, yes, let's actually do it. But I think it's more mindful right now. It's got to be more mindful for consumers, home buyers, home sellers, to say this is what we need to do. We need to buy something or we need to sell for whatever reason.
Right. Exactly. And look at this. First of all, we always discourage people from really looking at this as a market, um, and your home as a primary investment instrument. It is the thing you live in. And so that's what it needs to serve first and foremost. And sometimes that's not going to look like the cover of a magazine. Sometimes it's going to fit all of the boring criteria that that isn't sexy, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but it's going to serve your life. Now, there's times when, sure, if you've got no encumbrances and you want to go live in Paris for a year, or check out,
Absolutely.
I did downtown Chicago and Indiana. You explored a few areas of the country. That's certainly sensible. But when you buy a house, and I also, by the way, on the other side, I don't like that forever house idea. I don't think any house is going to serve you forever. So you want to look at the stage of your life you're in, what you need, and then how do we get that, and how do we feel good about affording it, right? So this is what we're telling our clients all the time. And I cringe when I hear agents talking about how your house is a great investment and it's always going to go up. That's setting a bad expectation. It makes us look like idiots when something else happens. Also, don't be quoting, today we're talking about interest rates, don't be quoting when they're coming down. Nobody knows the answer to that.
Do you know how many lenders and people, and again, it was wishful thinking, really, when it came down to it, where we try in these lives and these things that we do and tell our clients to be as realistic as humanly possible. This is where we are right now. This is what we are seeing right now. We can do in the past. This is what happened in the past. But I don't know if there was a single agent or lender who I talked to who wanted things to turn around that did not say, oh, wait until June, wait until July, wait until we're going to see 5. We're going to see 5. Guess what? We're not seeing 5.
Yep.
So all those people you told in February and March we're going down to 5, they waited.
And they didn't get 6.
Things.
And they didn't get 6.5.
Yes. Right. So we really have to, as always, just focus on our clients' needs. We can't convince them. We can show them facts, over feelings. Yes, we need to get them out of their feelings sometimes. But it is an emotional thing to, especially if we're trying to talk to people out of this pride they have with their 3% interest rate, the positives.
Yeah.
With a move if they need to, if they're contemplating it, and if it works for them.
I will never forget a friend of mine moved to Florida and got his real estate license. And I would say this was probably the beginning of 2008. So there was no word of, nobody was referring to it as a crash. There was a dip, and certain markets were affected more than others. Florida was hit hard quickly. And I remember in the spring of, I'm sure it was 2008, and he said, oh yeah, it's starting to turn around finally. We've got agents are having parties. They're calling them bottoming out parties because we hit the bottom and we're on our way back up. In 2008. So it's easy to look back and say, well, that was ridiculous. But as we're in it, people love to call the end of it. They love to call the bottom. They love to predict when things are turning around. I would not fall into that trap if I were you agents, and I am you because I'm an agent. So we're trying to own the narrative and say to our clients, this is where you are. Interest rates are going to do one of two things. They're going to go up or they're going to go down. So if they go up, you're going to be that person who didn't get it at 6.5 and now it's over 7. 7's going to look good if they go to 8.
Imagine the people who are balking at 4.75 or 5. Oh, when it goes back down to 3, 2% more.
Exactly. So that could happen. It could be 8 and 7's going to look awesome. Or they could go down. If they go down, most people see, because of the supply and demand issue, because of our low inventory, because of our large number of people who need homes. If interest rates go down, that demand, there's some of that demand is gone because people got priced out. They're living with their parents. They are staying where they are. They're, whatever they were going to do, they're not going to do. As soon as that interest rate goes down, they're jumping. So now we're back to 20, 30, who knows how many multiple offers we're going to see. Nobody's going to be able to buy a house. Prices will skyrocket, and they won't be able to take advantage of the lower interest rate because they won't be able to buy a house. So we don't like the marry the house.
Oh, yeah, marry the house, pay the rate.
But in reality, they're probably going to be well positioned to refinance. By the way, don't promise that either.
Right, because you don't know if they'll have the value.
Cash, nobody could refinance, and a whole lot of people had bought on the promise that they could.
Well, and the date, the rate thing or whatever, again, as I mentioned in the last one, when somebody talks about their, what their monthly rate is, the interest rate and the principal are, right these days, from most loans, are fixed. So don't date the rate. Have the, I think we should be promoting the idea that you have the confidence of knowing what your interest and principal are going to be. Yes, of course, taxes are going to fluctuate, and by fluctuate, I mean go up. And insurance is going to, these days, continue to go up. So those are things that everybody needs anyway. Here's the thing. Your landlord of these places that they buy at the fixed rate and the fixed principal, their taxes are going up. Their insurance is going up. So next year, the rent is going up. And then it's going to continue going up. And it's going to continue going up. And at least when you own a home, you at least have an idea of what it's going to stay at. When you're renting, there's no guarantee.
And the action for different people at different stages of their life or different situations is going to be a little bit different. So we're, when we work with new buyers, we have a different set of advice for them than we do for people who are downsizing or moving into assisted living or divorcing. Sometimes is a whole different set. So as agents, make sure that you're tailoring your advice to the people you're talking to. I think it's something that often gets overlooked. People give out blanket advice, and again, it just makes us look out for ourselves and like we're not taking very good care of our world. So I think it's really important to not jump on a slogan, not jump on a meme, but really investigate. Am I giving my clients the best advice? Are they going to come back to me in 5 years and be happy with whatever happened? Because I set their expectations realistically, and I laid out the various different options. And the other thing I'm telling my clients, I know Danielle, we both really push this because we think, again, this is not for everybody, but for especially first-time younger buyers, buy the house with the ugly kitchen. Live with something you don't love, because that's the only place you're going to get a deal these days. That's the house that isn't going to have a ton of competition. They're not bidding it up $20,000 or $30,000 over list. And then you can take your time and you can make it what you want. And you might even be able to have pizza once a month and take a vacation every 3 years. So set the expectations with your clients. I have perfectly good houses that sellers aren't willing to completely renovate before going on the market, and buyers come in and turn their nose up because they don't like the color of the walls. So let's set those expectations too, and
yeah, absolutely,
get things moving. All right. Were you going to say something else?
Nope.
Oh. So see you next week. Next week, we're going to talk about when houses prices are coming down.
Sure thing.
Come establish that crystal ball. Oh, I have one.
Yes, you do.
All right. See you later.
See you, Ben. Bye.
Bye.